Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm starting baseboards. So I'm going to start down at this side of the room. And well, I'll start with this wall first. And I'll cut them so I have a cut line dead center of this wall, so I always have some sort of reference. And then I'll start working up the sides. Then I can move the old 200-pound TV back in the center, and things can start moving along with that too. So yeah, let's get started cutting these things. I'll cut my first two so I have a center line down the middle of the wall, and that brings me out to 6 foot 2.5. So 2 of these at that measurement. Keep those for somewhere else. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so that's all the baseboard that I have prepped right now. So I'm going to go around and fill all the nail heads with some white wood filler. All I'm going to do, put a little dab on my finger, rub it in the hole, and we're good. Okay, I'm going to start painting my cabinets with my fancy trim enamel. Seemed to worked all right on my other stuff, so we'll keep using it. Let that drain back in, load my roller. There we go. Let it dry. Just like my other painting, I'm going to use a plastic bag. Wrap up my roller in here, try to get all the air out. And this should stay good till the next time I need it. Just going to dump my excess paint back in here. Something that I found works okay is if you just stick another one on top, it'll help keep that tray from drying out. And just sit your roller on top to hold it there. My next coat will be in about an hour, so I don't want to waste a paint tray. So yeah, I'll be back in an hour to do some more painting. All right. It is now an hour later. Nice. It stayed, I don't know, it's paint. All right, it's the next day. All my paint's dry, so I'm gonna start my trim where I left off here, go up and around the door frame. I'll finish under here, and then I'll move on to over here and do the bottom of this wall. Which is going to be 4 3/16. So I'm going to cut the angle first, and then I'll measure it out and cut the straight cut after. Okay. Now, 3 3/16. I'll go a little lighter, I think. There. And I fucked it up. 4 3/16. Okay, so that one should fit. Oh yeah, look at that. Much, much better. I'll just fill that with silicone and it'll look great. I mean, I could push it in more, but either way, it needs to be touched up with the paint. Always want to keep your little offcuts like this. Like, yeah, I made a mistake cutting that one. But once I get this piece back in here, I can cut this shorter and it'll be perfect right there. So I'm going to keep that one. That looks 100 times better already. Now for the tricky one to measure at the top. .38 5/8. It's a little small. A little on the small side, by like 1/8 of an inch. That sucks, but I have a lot of extra material. I'm just gonna cut another one. Okay, let's try this again. I've made it about 1/8 of an inch longer. Oh yes. Look at that. Perfect. And like before, I'll fill in all these nail holes after everything's done. Then I'll touch up the whole room. Okay, next is the bottom of the wall underneath the cold air return. 17 1/4. Okay. There, that looks good. Okay, so this is my last piece of painted trim, and as you can see, it's not long enough for there. So I'm gonna cut it to go here to start framing in this shelf. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this doorway, or at least part of it. But I need to touch up some of the white paint first, because I've got some of the gray from the wall on the door frame, and I don't want to fight that. So my roller's still wet from the other day. Give it a little touch up. Perfect. For this one, I'm using my the one that I notched on the table saw, because the drywall sticks out a little bit more than the door frame. So this is what we're going to use there. there, and there, and that looks perfect. Nice, I like it. Nail that in. I'm going to cut my top piece, which I have an offcut from a previous job. So I'm going to use this to help scab this in. There, so I need to cut it down there. .45 needs to start there. Here I have about 7/8. Over there is about an inch. Okay, so I'll mark my 45 first. And seven eighths, and it goes up to 1 inch at the angle. That. There. Okay. That's what I need to cut. See how well this fits. It's really not that bad. Huh. Yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna shave a little bit off the backside. So this fits a lot better in here now. And that's where it's gonna live. There we go, perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my corner piece in here. Measure that out. Yep, and this guy will go right there. But I need to round the corners first, and I want to repaint the ends before I actually stick it on. Yeah, that's going to live there. I'll just sand those smooth. Okay, it's the next day. All my paint's dry. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'll work around the corner towards this door frame, and then I'll finish framing in the shelving area. And I think that's all I can do with the pieces I have. So I'll finish these up and then go buy more. Okay, so I'm going to put my corner piece in here, and I think this one, I don't want 100 nails in it, so I'm going to hot glue it to the wall and then just put a couple nails in it. Like that. Right there. And you remember my little offcut where I messed up the measurements? I said always keep your offcuts. Well, check this out. I did not cut that again. It's pretty much perfect. And that's where it's going to live. So always keep your offcuts. Okay, so now I'm going to do this inside edge. Okay, maybe in an eighth. The tricky part is that I have this at the bottom. So I'm going to try to router the back side of the piece of trim to go around that. I don't know if it'll work, but wish me luck. Alright, so I'm going to go up to about there. So we're going to try to take that out. And we have to go about 1/4 inch deep. So that should be fun. We'll clamp this to the table. I need my router bit to stick out 1/4 inch. Or just a hair under. There. Okay, so I don't really have high hopes for this, but we'll give it a shot. I think that worked. see if that fits on there. Oh yes, look at that. Absolutely perfect. All right, so I just need to cut it to length. Yeah, nice. I like it. This one I'm also going to hot glue in a couple spots. I don't want to walk it around on me. I also want to minimize how many nails are in it. Okay, so similar length on this. Like there-ish. There. Actually, just the one nail I think is good. Okay, that's as far as I can go today until I buy more trim. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Looks pretty good. Door in there. I'll go buy some more trim and then I can finish this side and that side. All right, forget what I said about finishing it. It's now a few weeks later. I've been busy with other projects. This is going to be on the back burner for a little bit, but I put the room back together so I can at least use it. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going to finish the trim, but I also have to finish the staircase. That's all on the to-do list. So yeah, see you in the future video.